It's been just over 6 months since the Google Pixel 7 Pro became official, and for many tech nerds like me, it was the best flagship phone deal of 2022 with a reasonable $899 starting price tag. We're now well into mid-2023 with a boatload of new flagships including the Galaxy S23 Ultra, Xiaomi 13 Ultra, OnePlus 11, and more. All super exciting, and that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset is proving to be the Apple M1 of the Android world this year. Does the Pixel 7 Pro and its Tensor G2 chip hold up in 2023? And with all these really awesome deals for the Pixel 7 Pro, is it still the go-to flagship choice in terms of value right now? Let's answer all that after I tell you about our very important sponsor for this video, Aura. I don't know if you've noticed, but my YouTube channel and Google account were recently hijacked by a malicious hacker, and they had access to everything related to my Google account, including addresses, sensitive emails, and passwords, which was super scary. With my experience in the cybersecurity industry, I knew the risks of this hijacking, so for the couple of days I was compromised, I was very worried for my own and my family's private information and safety. This is why I wish I had Aura, an all-in-one solution for privacy and protection. In hindsight, Aura let me know that 24 data brokers have been selling my sensitive information this whole time. I hope all of you can consider this sort of service now so you don't have to have the same fears as me in the future. Not only does Aura cover all the bases including password management, VPN, and antivirus, it also actively monitors and alerts you to any new inquiries on your credit and financial transactions in case a malicious actor already got access to your private info. And you get all that and more at one affordable price. Aura is a accredited, award-winning company, so you can trust them to watch your back and protect you online. Right from the start, the sign-up service was so assuring, as the very first thing they did for me was to see what data brokers had access to my private information, and I just clicked one button to request them to remove it. That really stood out to me. And then after that, it was a very easy setup experience to make sure I was protected under one big safe umbrella. So let Aura do the hard work in keeping you safe online and focus on the important things in life with peace of mind. Go to aura.com/hoyoung today and start your 2-week free trial. Reviewing design is highly subjective, so this part's up to you to decide. Personally, even though I would have preferred matte glass instead of glossy, I like how the Pixel 7 Pro looks and feels. It's a big phone, much like a Galaxy S23 Ultra or the iPhone 14 Pro Max, so keep that in mind. Very premium feel, comfortable to hold for its size, and is up there with all the 2023 competitors. I know not all of you like the curved glass, but I actually kind of like it and adds to the premium feel. It's also held up in physical condition too. Keep in mind I have been using a case this whole time, but yeah, I'm not seeing any micro scratches or dents here. Above all that, I love how distinctive the Pixel design has become. You can tell immediately that this is a Google Pixel versus other Android phones. The 6.7-inch LTPO OLED display is huge, and if you're looking for that, it looks great. It's got a resolution of 3120 by 1440 pixels, so it can get really sharp too. I say can because for the sake of battery, it does default to 1080p out of the box. I did make the switch to 1440p for a little while, but I realized that I really didn't see the difference, so I switched it back to 1080p to save a bit on battery life. I did keep the 120Hz refresh rate on, and it looks buttery smooth. It is an OLED, so the blacks are inky and looks awesome in dark mode. Colors are vibrant and look great too, and I never felt that it looked washed or anything like that. It still doesn't look quite as vibrant and appealing as Galaxy phone displays, but it's pretty close. My only minor complaints about the display are the brightness and the optical fingerprint reader. The peak brightness isn't bad by any means, but I did feel that I needed to keep it at 90% or above when outside in the sun. The optical fingerprint reader is serviceable, but it just doesn't hold up in speed or accuracy compared to competitors using ultrasonic sensors. And when your finger has a bit of dust or moisture, it can be straight up frustrating to use. Also, it's blinding during the night because it requires a screen to light up to function. Thankfully, there is face unlock to save you a bit of time from the fingerprint reader, but it's not totally secure and doesn't work with a mask or in low light. The stereo speakers are loud, and I have no complaints on sound quality, but I will say it is a bit uneven with the bottom firing speaker being noticeably louder than the front firing earpiece speaker. Besides the fingerprint sensor, the Pixel 7 Pro's hardware holds up with the best even in 2023. And that includes the excellent cameras. The triple lens camera system is among the best, and most of the tech community seems to agree. The photos and videos are excellent, and it still stands as one of the top cameras of 2023. I love the natural depth of field you can get without resorting to an artificial portrait mode. It's got a fairly quick shutter too, so you won't miss your shot and it will look good. Having that extra telephoto lens and a big sensor in this giant visor, you can get some high quality zoom shots as well. There's some cool features like motion that gets you shots like these, and of course, pixels have always been great with night mode for low light shots. But if we're talking details and being nitpicky, I want to share some of my complaints that make me prefer Samsung or Xiaomi cameras over this one. My main issue is that the Pixel camera post-processing does a little too much work sometimes. It really doesn't want to keep dark colors or shadows, so the photos have a pretty noticeable HDR effect to them, making them seem a bit overcooked and artificial. Now, I'm fine with this for environments and landscapes because they look amazing, but for faces and hair, it's not too flattering as it could emphasize pimples, wrinkles, and make dark hair look gray. I have similar comments about the video recording. Results are overall great, but it seems a little too grainy in slightly darker environments as the processing is trying a little too much to brighten up low light. But whilst post-processing is not my style, I can still say the Pixel 7 Pro still holds up with the best. The results are high res, zoom capabilities are dependable, and it's a reliable shooter for almost any environment. I just wish Google would turn it back down a little bit on the post-processing. Of course, being a Google phone by Google, the software is one of its biggest selling points. The Pixel 7 Pro is currently running Android 13 and is guaranteed to get at least 3 years of software updates and will be the first to get them all the time. Pixel software is nice because besides the ones I downloaded myself, it's clean of any OEM or carrier apps out of the box and keeps it simple in terms of UI and features. It also has some quality of life exclusive features like call screen, which lets you screen unknown callers and avoid spam calls, live caption, which lets you caption any media on your phone, and now playing, which lets you identify any song playing around you, and more. These are all great, and I do like that approach to software, but I will say that some people might prefer more customization options and extra features that other Android phones offer. For example, Samsung's One UI has some really useful features like edge panels, multitasking gestures, and Bixby routines that let you automate tasks and more. Google offers something similar to Bixby routines, but is very limited in what it can do, and I've had to resort to third-party apps to get the same level of customization on the Pixel. Of course, this comes down to personal preference, and some of you might find these extra features unnecessary. Overall, the Pixel 7 Pro offers a pure Android experience that is simple and streamlined. If you want that, then this holds up in 2023, but if you're looking for more features straight out of the box, you might want to look at other options. Speed and performance are no issues for the Pixel 7 Pro. In benchmarks, the Tensor G2 might not hold up in CPU or GPU compared to the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but in my experience, the 7 Pro has been very consistent and never let me down in this department. The G2 was primarily designed to optimize AI tasks like image processing, natural language understanding, and more, but it was never trying to win any speed awards. But thanks to the clean, simple software and consistent animations along with the 12 gigs of RAM, the 7 Pro is fast and responsive for all things, including short content video editing and gaming. Unless you're trying to push for max settings all the time on Genshin without burning up your phone, the 7 Pro's horsepower will hold up for years to come. Now, where that Tensor G2 falls short is in efficiency. In other words, battery life. After 6 months, the battery life on the 7 Pro is still decent, but not as good as it used to be. The phone has a huge 5000 mAh battery that at this point can last for a full day of light to moderate use, but nothing more than that. These days I come home after work and it's around 20 to 30% after I moderately used it at the office. Overall, I'm getting around 4 to 5.5 hours of screen on time. Now, this is fine and it can survive busy weekends with around 10% left by bedtime, but it's not super reassuring anymore. The 7 Pro also charges up to 30 watts, which is decent. It's not as fast as what you can get on the Pros or Ultras from other OEMs, but it's good enough for the price you can get it for. It takes me about an hour and a half to get from 20 to 100%. The phone also supports wireless charging up to 23 watts, but that's only with the official Pixel stand. With third-party wireless chargers, you'll get up to about 12 watts. Reverse wireless charging is available as well, which is awesome for some quick juice for a friend's phone or your wireless earbuds. Overall, while the battery life and charging speeds are fine for most people, in comparison to these new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 phones, it might not be quite enough for heavy users who need a bit more throughout the day. So all in all, the Pixel 7 Pro is still an excellent flagship phone that can get right now. When compared side by side with 2023's latest flagships, it manages to stand side by side in most categories, including hardware, display, cameras, software experience, and support. It falls behind a little bit on battery life and processing horsepower, but it's not a huge difference, and with all the discounts lately, the Pixel 7 Pro can be bought for as low as $749 in the US, sometimes even lower. At this point in time, I will say that the Pixel 7 Pro is the best flagship deal if you're looking for an ultra screen phone. If you're not bound to that, there's a lot of good smaller options like the base Galaxy S23, which can be bought for almost the same price, and it's going to get you much better battery life. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Pixel 7 Pro and what your next phone purchase might be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.